NECA 1987 cartoon TMNT figures we hope to see in 2021. Part 1. We're looking for a few good cartoon mutants. Hey everybody, welcome to SpeekyGeeky. As always, I am Mr.Geek-E. Today, we are going to be discussing NECA's Fred Wolf 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon toy line. We originally started preparing this video back in the fall of 2020 and realized a lot of time has gone by since then, especially when we are talking in the scheme of toy reveals timeline. But now is as good a time as any to finally get part 1 of this series out to all you fine folks, because we are sure to learn of even more reveals between now and then. So, while we wait to see which brand new characters will rear their heads in the new line, we'll go ahead and share our hopes for which figures we would like to see in the line for the rest of 2021. And if any happen to be revealed before we are able to actually post this, well then I guess that's just how the anchovy pizza crust crumbles. We don't assume to know how many figures will make it into the line for the remainder of the year, but for the sake of this video series, we'll assume 2021 will follow relatively the same release pattern as 2020 and try to break this down using that as a template. This will mean 4 Target 2-pack waves with 6 characters in each wave, a total of 18 figures, give or take. 4 deluxe figures, 2 Loot Crate exclusives, a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which typically teeters between 1 or 2 4-packs of figures depending on the year, and a healthy smattering of smaller scale characters, which equal roughly 38 to 40 toys altogether. Seeing as we started writing this in September of 2020, there was no real way to know how close we'd get to what has actually been revealed thus far for the 2020 release year, so here are some important updates on that front just to catch us up to speed. On November 27th, 2020, NECA's official Instagram revealed the first image of an additional Target exclusive 4-pack. This ultimately became known as the Turtles in Disguise 4-pack that has started hitting Target stores at the time of this video's release. Our understanding is that these are in short supply, but NECA tells us that may change shortly. So if you're out there looking, happy hunting. On December 24th, 2020, NECA revealed in their 12 Days of Downloads teaser even more upcoming characters, one of which, Ace Duck, had made our initial list, as shown here in our SpeekyGeeky original concept art, as well as the teaser art image from NECA's reveal. During this reveal, they also presented our first image of Chrome Dome for the first time ever in series accurate scale, as well as the Punk Frogs, all 4 of them in their amazing glory. We'll very quickly weigh in on the official SpeekyGeeky Nerd Out moment, which is now a real thing we just decided, to get our bullet-pointed initial reaction to these reveals before moving forward. First up, Chrome Dome. So shiny, so massive. This is the version we've always hoped for. And now it's officially coming to plastic, so our hopes remain more alive than ever. The opportunities for depicting Old Domey as the oversized and menacing threat he always presented as within the series has our gears turning toward which scenes would be fun to replicate. And bottom line, this one is a super fun and exciting reveal. Bring it on. Next, Ace Duck. Again, Ace was actually one of our guesses, so we are pretty thrilled by this reveal. NECA doesn't seem to hint at who will be his 2-pack cohort yet, seeing as the only viable pairing option so far was Muckman, and he was just confirmed to be packaged as an upcoming oversized figure. Our best guess on who Ace will be paired with? There are huge alarm bells going off in our brain, telling us that this was likely meant to be paired with Usagi Yojimbo. In our humble opinion, would be the ultimate dream combo, but that would largely depend on if NECA was given the go-ahead by Stan Sakai. And last we heard in 2020, NECA had mentioned they were still working out the kinks on that. So fingers crossed, but nothing to confirm there yet. If Usagi is not yet in the running, our next best guess to be paired with Ace would be either another short screen time good guy character who might still be a fan favorite like Rondo or Zack the 5th Turtle, or they'll mix it up and pair him with another winged character like Wingnut perhaps. Though with Wingnut, we are quite certain they'll save our favorite anthropomorphic alien bat to be paired with a series scale accurate Screwloose. More on that later in the video. Next up, the Punk Frogs. Napoleon Bonafrog, Attila the Frog, Genghis the Frog, Rasputin the Mad Frog. We're pretty impressed with how well NECA captured their animated faces, demeanor, and shading. Even though it looks a bit like they used largely the same head sculpt, with the exception of Napoleon perhaps, they masterfully captured the feel of each character's personality, and we are thrilled by how they turned out. The Turtles in Disguise 4-pack. and Pigeon Pete. It's exciting those who weren't able to get the turtles the first, second, or third time around now have an opportunity to do so. It's also exciting for those who like to have every show accurate variants that we have never seen in toy form before. We really like how this appears to be brand new head sculpts that really hammer in their serious appearances and kind of gives us happy goosebumps thinking about all the various other series disguises that we have never seen in toy form before, perhaps now being peppered in by NECA down the road. What's that? Did someone say train conductor Shredder? No? Just me? Yeah, I get that a lot. The reveal of Pigeon Pete is also incredibly exciting. Technically, we were teased with this character hidden within the San Diego Comic-Con display a couple years back, but it was unclear where he would fit in, which brings us to January 15th, 2021, where NECA revealed that Kerma will be paired with Mondo Gecko in a new image that was provided over at the Foosh. Here again is SpeekyGeeky's very quick nerd out moment. Kerma has always been one of our how the heck did they skip over this guy in the original toy line top picks. We are thrilled to finally welcome this alien turtle from Shell-Rala into our toy shelves. We also hope to see the in disguise version of him down the road as well. On February 21st, 2021, we got some pretty amazing news that another of our original guesses was confirmed. Longtime fan favorite Scrag. He was revealed to be a Deal Sweetener exclusive figure for this year's TMNT Loot Crate subscriptions. The caveat for this figure, however, is that fans would have to spring for signing up for all 4 subs, which can induce a sense of financial shell shock if you had only thought about picking up the animated line subscription. The silhouette for the cartoon subscription sure looks a whole lot like Donatello the Dark Turtle as well. Yet again, here is SpeekyGeeky's very quick nerd out moment. Just call us Stimpy because we are suddenly wanting to burst out singing happy, happy, joy, joy. If you are anything like us, Scrag in particular has been seen as the holy grail of characters we hoped would get in the line. Leave it to NECA to go beyond our wildest expectations. It also appears that we'll have a Vernon/Rat Vernon type of situation where we'll be able to transform Scrag from his punk human form to Mutant Bat, which is just so incredibly cool because, of course, we also wanted both versions. On Donatello the Dark Turtle, this has always been one of our favorite side personas of the cartoon series. It's a cool looking character and we can pretend it's an additional turtle to team up with the brothers. No complaints whatsoever from us, other than we just wish we had a picture of it already. One final reveal that came out a few days ago and was super duper tucked away is that Irma is coming. We have no official details yet, and she was only shown in a blink and you'll miss it tease from NECA's official Instagram account hyping up the Pizza Monster oversized figure, but Irma actually tops our next list. So, you know, we're excited, but also spoilers for part 2. Okay, now to finally dive in. In this multi-video series, join Mr.Geek-E, hey, that's me, as he sewer surfs his way through the top 40 NECA classic cartoon figures that we hope to see in 2021. So let's start with our first batch of 6 desired characters. Number 1 and 2, Wingnut and Screwloose. A common element that many people tend to forget, likely because of the original toy line and the Archie comic that released around the time of the episode, is that Wingnut and Screwloose were actually villains and not good guys in the 1987 cartoon. That's right, posing as Sergeant Rambo, Wingnut and his significantly less tiny than the original toy line companion Screwloose were looking to invade Earth, and would have gotten away with it too, if not for some quick thinking by Donnie, Mikey, and their honorary 5th turtle, Zach. These flightful duo have always been 2 of our favorite characters. From their absurdist superheroes beyond their prime costumes, which, again, as a quick but necessary aside, in this cartoon context, it's still pretty unclear why they ultimately went with that motif, if they had always intended them as villains, to their general aesthetic and overtly goofy banter. The fact that we have never had a full-sized and fully articulated Screwloose yet, unless you were like many of us and pretended Needlenose from the original toy line was just an extra mutated version of him, helps to put this duo at the tippy top of our essential figures list for who we want to get sooner than later. Number 3, Fillet, or is that Fillet? The cartoon version of Fillet's similarities with the toy and Archie Comics version start and end with their name. Well, the original toy of Ray Fillet was a radical-looking manta ray with equally fun color-changing chest plate action. The cartoon version was an amalgamation of aquatic sea life that looked nothing like his other counterparts, but was still quite cool in a host of additional ways. His unique appearance alone is worth getting pretty excited about. The dude was part lizard, part octopus, part manta ray, part eel, part sea urchin, part catfish, part blowfish, and these are only the mutations we knew about. Basically, what Mimic was to X-Men, Ray Fillet was to the world of Ninja Turtles. Factor in his ability to go toe-to-toe with all 4 turtles, and the fact that we've never had a figure off of his likeness before, and it seems ample enough reasons to firmly land him as one of our must-have characters. Number 4, Mona Lisa. Even though Mona was only featured in 1 episode, she managed to steal both Raph's and the fans' hearts. The closest thing to a romantic interest for Raphael in the series, and easily standing on her own in a scrap, both hand-to-hand and mentally. We know we can't be the only ones that were holding out hope to see her make another appearance later in the series, but it just never materialized. Fun fact, Mona Lisa was originally envisioned to be a female turtle, which honestly, going by the name, shouldn't come as a huge shocker for most astute fans. To really see our nerdy hearts wriggle on the line, it might be pretty fun to pair Mona in a 2-pack with Ray Fillet and sprinkle in that classic stinkor treatment to give the set an aroma that would make any shelf wilt under its pungent sea smell. Number 5 and 6, Brick, Bugman, Bradley, and Dr. Dome. Even heroes have heroes they look up to, and Bugman is the closest thing in the world of Ninja Turtles to fitting that bill. Bugman is part Superman and part Spider-Man, but kind of like if Clark Kent or Peter Parker actually changed their entire physiology when they migrated into their hero persona. Come to think of it, a more apt comparison of Bugman's transformation might be Kurt Connor's or Man-Bat. Well, it certainly would be fun to have a 2-pack where it captures Bugman's transformation from human to Bug. It would be hard to see good old Brick Bradley on the shelf without him facing off against his arch nemesis and longtime TMNT universe staple, going all the way back to the Mirage days, Dr. Dome. I don't think anyone would be too upset if they happened to throw in Bugman's human face in addition to his mutant one. In fact, we were kind of hoping something like that would have occurred with the upcoming oversized Baxter Stockman, so we could have had both human Baxter, or Barney to some, and Baxter Fly. But here's hoping his premutation figure is still coming down the road as well. Dr. Dome, even though his screen time was severely limited in the Fred Wolf series, technically his sole appearance is a mere few freeze frames with Michelangelo imitating the comic book voices at the beginning of the episode, Michelangelo meets Bugman. There is just something so incredibly cool about his domed brain encompassing design that looks like something straight out of an old 1950s science fiction serial. We can only imagine what magic NECA would devise with that translucent skull of his. Well, there you have it. That concludes part 1 of our top hopes for the 2021 NECA Fred Wolf animated series. But part 2 will be dropping any day now. So make sure to stay tuned to SpeekyGeeky's YouTube for more dedicated turtle time. We imagine you'll have some characters that top your list too. So feel free to join the discussion in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to sub up, give the video a like, and share with anyone you know who would appreciate these types of videos. Also, make sure to check out the description for some other links that lead to some expanded similar content we think you'll also probably enjoy. We realize you could have gone anywhere and you chose to nerd out with us, and we appreciate that. So, as always, I am Mr. Geek-E, and until next we speaky, let's keep it geeky.